You. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Let me just real quick tell you all where I'm at, and maybe let's first have a drink. I cheers you. I'm drinking a triple Karmeliet, epic Belgian beer. Skål. Very good. Okay, what was I going to say? Yeah, I was gonna explain where we're at. So it'll be the best to give you an idea where we're at based on this picture. We're building a leaderboard website for a Diabotical child game, and what you can do there is you can register as a player. So we'll create a new player in our database. Then that will fire a player registered event. This player registered event is going to be put on the event stream. And then eventually a policy will eat up the event stream, hashtag the event stream, understand that there is a player registered, and then from that create a leaderboard basically, or recreate a leaderboard. Where we are at now is we've created a player. We're sending out the player registered domain event. And now I'm basically implementing this arrow here. So we've got something that needs to translate a player registered domain event into a player registered event sourced event. That's where we're at now. That's also why I had Spring Events open, because we're going to be using the Spring, what's it called? Application event listener or something, Spring application stuff. So let's put this in presentation mode so everyone can follow along a little bit easier. There we go, that should be better. Yeah, so I've done a bunch of stuff since last time. I don't think it's worth going over all of the commits though. Yeah, I don't think it's worth going over all the commits, so let's don't. The one thing I wanted to do now is to expand this test to verify that the correct events end up in the event store. So that's a bit different from what we were doing before. That also means that we can no longer be using an in-memory domain event broadcaster. Broadcaster. What we really want is to have a Spring Events domain event broadcaster publish these domain events. Yeah, so that's basically it. So I don't want to add an add component on this one because I don't want it to be detected at production runtime. So I don't really want to do this, in fact. So, but I need to find a way to verify that the events do end up in the event store. And for that, I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. So I'll need to find a way to access this event store. I do remember that I wrote some kind of integration test here. Maybe it's this thing. Spring wiring test here. There we go. So this is basically what I want to check. So I want to get access to the Postgres event store. So let's try and wire that one up over here. Oh, it's not complaining, so that means that this is already accessible. I don't know what this is. Go away. So maybe if I do this and then filter events, yeah. And I want player registered events. What show problem? Ah, yeah. Run blocking. This is the magical trick that fixes everything. So we'll just run that in a blocking scope. This returns us something, and namely player registered events. There should be one. And the way that thing happens here is the verify registered player. So we're also finding an event. Maybe we should just do the same thing. So maybe let's do first or something. First. Yeah. Hopefully that it does provide us with a T. So if we attribute this to first player registered event, I guess, then we can assert this thing. Assert that first player registered nickname or something is equal to me. Voila. And then this is our assertion, I hope. So I no longer need to do this anymore. So that means that this can go probably. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Then this can go, as I don't need the broadcaster anymore. Then I also no longer need this in-memory broadcaster anymore. So I can get rid of that. Fun fact, I spent like 2 hours or maybe 3 hours last time to figure out how to do that. And now I'm getting rid of it. This is great. Yeah, so maybe if I just run this. So I expect it to fail because maybe first close all the things, close all tabs. Where's my tab? That was a Simpsons reference. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that this is definitely going to fail, especially because the Postgres event store requires a client. Oh shit. Shit's already breaking apparently. Oh boy. Push. Yeah, we'll deal with this later. Close it for now. Ha. And then let's just wait until this is done compiling and running. And here we are, I guess. I don't know. Let's get another drink in. Yeah, no, apparently that's no dice. This is breaking quite intensively. Why though? Suspend fun push unit. Oh, failed refactoring. This, where is it? Here, the event store. It takes in an event, of course. Yeah. There was some refactoring last time that went wrong. Voila, that's better. Okay, now we can rerun the tests. And then we can get rid of that stuff again. So I'm quite sure that it's going to fail because this requires a client, and then when I'm running my scenario test over here, where is it? This starts a web application, which is residing here. And I do have the dependency, I think, on event sourcing adapter, but I don't think that I've registered the necessary web client. Here, at least I didn't. Maybe. Oh yeah, so I did register a data source here, but it's the Postgres projections database, so it's going to try and use this one, where there is no, what's it called again? There's no event store table registered in this database. Because I've got two different databases set up. I've got an event store database and a projections database. Maybe projections database is gonna be a bad name. Yeah, so I'll need to try and name this, not this database client maybe, but the data source that it needs. I need to try and figure out how to name that. What's going on? Why is it not running? Let's try to run it again. Something's wrong, eh? Unresolved reference. Okay. So IntelliJ understands that this is a reference it needs, but Maven is like, or Gradle is not playing along. It's understandable. Because I need this thing. I remember. So I put this in comments because I didn't want to deal with event sourcing adapter not having a data source already. Yeah, so I need this thing here. Is that still correct? Guess we can check, huh? So we've got I don't think it is correct. Postgres events DB. Oh, it is correct. Okay, nice. And it's 6668. Nice. With snarf, and I'm guessing that Lion-O is going to also be correct. So we might get away with this, in fact. So I might need to add these properties to this here application, but not sure if I need it. So let's first put it in comments. Refresh Gradle because why? Because I added the dependency on event sourcing adapter. That is correctly. Okay, now it's just waiting, which means time to drink some beer. How are you doing? Nice folks in chat. Welcome. I mean, I guess stuff is compiling, so let's try to run it again. Run it. This is taking a while though. Don't like. Oh. Beach ball. Oh, now it is running the tests though. Cross your fingers. Oh. Oh. No way, bro. Okay, so that I absolutely did not expect. So maybe what I'll try to do now is check that it is indeed empty. 21:02:16. That is today. I am as confused as you are. Okay, let's follow the the path. Okay, so what we're doing here is this register player step. Once this is done, it will post a player name JSON with a nickname to the register endpoint over at 999/API. We've got a player controller. It's funny, so I already implemented it, in fact. The player controller, there should be a post mapping somewhere. That's registration. No. The registration controller doesn't need a query executor. The registration controller takes in this player name JSON. It then creates a register player command, which is a command. Where can I see that it's a command? I can't in fact see that it's a command, but it is indeed a command. This command then gets executed, which will trigger a register player handler. This handler does the handling of stuff, or of registering a player. We take in the command. Then what I'll do is I'll create a registered player, which is for now just a data class. This registered player is then going to end up being saved in a player repository. This player repository is, where is it? This thing. Okay, I thought it was an interface, but it's not. Ah, yeah, of course not. This is the implementation within the core impl. This player repository understands how to save registered players, and the way that it does that is it creates a queryable player, so something that you can save, I guess, or a query, and you save it. Save does what? Save does a store in the players thing. This is an interface that resides in core API, but is implemented in the RDBMS adapter. And then we use JDBI to store a queryable player. And what that does is just inserts it into the registered players table. So that takes care of saving a registered player in the database in the part of the command handler. Then once this thing is saved, I will say because I want to return something that represents a registered player, because I don't want to return my actual registered player domain class. I want to keep it clean. This thing, because that resides in impl, the implementation of the domain. This really is just copying over the ID and the nickname because it's a simple thing. And then I also want to return a domain event, and player registered is a domain event. It resides in core API registration. It just contains the player ID and the nickname. And because it's a domain event, it will also have a domain event ID and a timestamp that belongs to it. So once this is returned out of the handle, then let's see where that is actually got. So, oops. Yeah, let's search for all of the references. So I wanted to go to the command executor. So this command executor takes in the command which actually got fired by the controller. So this thing here. That handler is being discovered, is being handled. That's what we just saw. It's just creating a registered player and then returning a specific domain event that belongs to it. And we're then going to publish this domain event. This domain event broadcaster is an interface, but it gets implemented by Spring Events domain event broadcaster. This thing then uses an application event publisher to publish that domain event, and then that's that. It's donezo. But then where is the domain or the listener somewhere? That I don't remember where that gets picked up. So, but in the end, the event is published. We go back to the controller. We get our representation here. So this is the representation, and then from this we only need the ID, and that's what we are returning as a successful operation. So you give back the location header basically with the ID of the registered player you just created, and donezo. But now we need to find the part where our leaderboard thingamajig, or the event sourcing thing happens. And that I actually do not remember. We've got it here. Okay, so a most challenges leaderboard store takes in an event store. It implements leaderboard events, which is an interface that resides in the domain. Let me find where that thing is at. That's right. I forgot already. So I've got a core domain and a core API. So that's basically the management bounded context, let's call it. Yeah, the management bounded context, and this is the leaderboards bounded context. So we talk in domain events to let the other bounded context know that something happened of interest, maybe. So in here we have where is that, or where is that going to be? A most challenges leaderboard. That's the policy. I already forgot that I wrote that. Where is the thing? Okay, let's put it a bit closer. So that's this thing. Oh boy, the policy. So one policy is going to nom the event stream, which is so that's not really entirely correct, I guess. Yeah, it's not correct at all. So this shouldn't be the event stream, in fact. This should be the main domain events pipeline or whatever. So let's put that here. We'll do that later. I will continue explaining maybe. So this policy is an event listener that registers on domain events, and then since we only have a player registered domain event for now, what I want to do is I want to create a new leaderboard event, and this thing here, the leaderboard event, is a sealed class. And this is a player registered for leaderboard event, which has a player ID and then a nickname, and then two properties for an ID and a timestamp. That's noise. And then whenever this is returned, I store it. Unless I'm not interested in it, then I return null and I don't store it, basically. So what does store mean? Well, store is going to keep it in a leaderboard's events thing, and this is an interface which is currently in the not correct place. Yeah, it's an API, but I think I'm going to update this bit, because here in API we also make the distinction, and I don't do that yet. So we've got core impl and core API, so that means we also have leaderboards impl. So let's, oh geez, package. Now I think it's going to also rename this. I'm not really sure. We will see. Yeah, I thought so. Maybe if I do this and let's keep it to the module, and then we'll rename this to API, and hopefully it will fucker. Huh. That's weird. Ha. Okay, now these need imports. Voila. Problem. Yeah, okay, so that's a problem. It's not necessarily a problem, because eventually this will get auto-wired, because both leaderboards impl and the API are glued together in the web module. So I don't think this is an actual issue. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so we've got our leaderboard events, which is an interface, which, remember, of which the keep thing here is called in our most challenges leaderboard policy. Then these are kept, and the keep is the keep is implemented, which I know, in here in the event sourcing adapter, which has a most challenges leaderboard store. So this is why these both need to come from API. There we go. And then here I think I just do the translation from a leaderboard event sourcing event, let's call it, to an event sourcing event. And here I think stuff is still a bit wrong, because it feels very weird that these things need to be different, and that I still don't think it is correct. But in any case, that will then be pushed to the event store, and as we just noticed, our test is in fact working. We've verified that in the event store the event is present. We even can check that the registered players. Okay, yeah, so this is not really a good representation of what actually happened, because I've tried that a bunch of times already. But hey, it's freaking working, man. All right, so let's recompile and then run the test again and see if that happens, or if it works. I'm gonna already celebrate by drinking a bit. Okay, I think the compilation is done. No, it's not yet. Okay. Come on. let me know if any of this makes sense. You know what I was thinking is maybe it's going to be easier to explain if I like make it very, very explicit on like the all of the path, like the complete path, let's say, or the complete stack that the application flows through when I do this player registration thing. Because then it'll be the most clear. What other stuff do we have? Here maybe domain. Yeah, okay, so we are nearly there. So yeah, let's see if so there's a bunch of stuff unconnected here. So maybe we need to fix that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the fetch player, or the fetch player above this thing, and then I've got room to connect these things together. So we'll connect that up there. Then eventually my registration command handler is also going to send to the Jesus, what was it called? I'm so quick to forget. It's going to push via the executor, in fact. That doesn't exist here, so maybe I'll need to expand it a bit. Because it doesn't go directly to the handler. It in fact goes to the command executor first, which then finds this command handler. Maybe I should do it like this then. Oop. No, I hate when that happens. Maybe Miro should just not allow Command A shortcuts to happen at all. Yeah, same for this thing. In fact, there's a query executor in between here. And there we go. By the way, let me know if none of this makes sense or if I can answer some of your questions. That way I can double check myself as well. We'll find the query handler, and then eventually the query handler is going to use the repository to fetch the query, the registered player by ID. So here we've got yeah, maybe let's do it like this. Then it can sort of follow the same style. Okay. There we go. Voila. So then when this thing returns, maybe I should do it a little bit better then. So that goes here to handle, I think it's called handle. Then this returns two things. One is the result, but then also, and that's going to be more interesting. So R and then domain event, but more specifically player registered domain event. Maybe I will prefer this notation as well. Something like that. Oh, okay. Make it small plus. Okay, or whatever's. So then once this player registered event ends up in the command executor, I am going to put it on the, let's make some room here first. Okay. Up. I will add it to the, what's it called? The command executor. Where you at? Okay, but I really want not the test, but the actual thing. This one. The domain event broadcaster, that's it. Okay. Bam. Domain event broadcaster. This will then contain the player registered event. And then the broadcaster basically, how do you write that down? Like, I want a Wi-Fi symbol maybe. Google image search. I don't know. There's also icon finder. Nice. Wi-Fi. Hello. Yeah. This one looks nice. Oh, it's too big. Rotate. Voila. This is being broadcast, and this event listener, which I really want to make sure that is of a different bounded context here. How do I do that? And I think I'm not really sure anymore. No, so this is not it, but in the impl, in fact, we've got the most challenges leaderboard policy. So I'm not sure that this is in fact correct, because it's just an example anyway for a policy. And this thing basically implements, maybe I should put that in here too, or is an event listener. I don't really know, but it receives the player registered. I don't really want that type. What's it? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Yeah, I want this font basically, so now Arial. Good enough for me. So this player registered event is received. Maybe I should put it the other way around then. On. There we go. When this thing receives that event, then I want to store it somehow, and storing it for me or for the system now means going to leaderboard events to keep it. So this thing here is a leaderboard events. Voila. Keep player registered. Hopefully that's clear enough. Then leaderboard events is implemented by the most challenges leaderboard store. I'm not really sure if I like that, because it's not necessarily the most challenges leaderboard store, is it? Why did I name it this and not just leaderboard store? Oh boy. Let's just name it as it is currently, and then voila. And then yeah, this is just going to save it in the event store. So that's this thing, event or voila. Yeah, and then that's this thing. It just stores the event. Store. Voila. So that's what happens now. I don't know what this thing is. Or why it's gone. Ah, there we go. That was very strange. Yeah. So let's now try and split it up a bit into color-coded blocks or whatever. So we've got this one, and for sure this one. These are all... Did I already have a color coding somewhere? They're green. Nah, now they are green. Yeah, I don't actually have a color coding yet, but anyway. Leaderboard, no, general management. Infrastructure, other domain. So let's color these orange or whatever. What is this? Oh yeah, let's use pink. It's nicer, easier on the eyes. Let's also make this into pastel. Or teal there. Okay, nice. Now we can copy these blocks and then make them into a fucking legend, mate. This is management bounded context. I understand that you can't read any of this because I can't myself read any of this. So this is the leaderboard bounded context, like that. Voila, legend. And then let's draw a box around that thing because legends need boxes or something. I don't know. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Hopefully this is this can be understood. I'm very unsure because I also have difficulty with it. And if I already can't understand it, who will? So maybe the R needs to go back here, and then that I also haven't done yet. So maybe let's do that. Player, registered player. Representation. And then this thing can go back here, I guess, somehow. Oh, now I remember why I actually drew this. It's to make sure, or to make super obvious that it's the registration scenario that is going to be basically replacing the UI. So in my scenario test, I basically want to replace the UI. That's it. So, and I think I do that here now. Okay, nice. Nice. Yeah, so this is a bit more intricate because there's like a bunch of stuff in between. And I'm not sure. Yeah, here I also didn't actually do that. I guess. Because this in fact goes to leaderboards or something. Let's think about that now for a bit. Ah yeah, so maybe we need to make a celebratory commit to, you know, mention that our test is in fact working from the get-go. Ah, that also means that I don't need these for some weird reason. Still worries me a bit. Oh, need to go like that. Okay. I really don't know why it won't work. It's so strange. We're going to commit. That's right. So let's do tada. Working scenario test all the way from the REST API to the event store. Let's do another tada for a dramatic effect. And then push it, baby. This is quite an achievement, honestly. I still don't have an actual UI, but I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting that I have this, because now I've got actual code that I can use to show other people on. Just tell me, what did I do wrong in this code base now? So one thing that still boggles the mind for me is the fact that I call this most challenges leaderboard store. So really what I'm trying to say here with that, or past scallop, what he tried to say with this is that this is a store specifically designed to keep the events of a most challenges leaderboard. But I don't think that's correct, because okay, maybe I will draw that out a bit. How do I make that clear? Oh yeah, we also had to fix this. Maybe the answer will come from that. Okay, let's just imagine. Okay, what I'll try to do. Yeah, nice. Okay, so what I have here in the in this box is not the oh man, that's too bad. So this is not the event stream, but it is the crikey, the domain event. No, broadcaster, the broadcaster. Oh, caster, this thing. It's the broadcaster, but it puts it somewhere. So let's do it. Broadcaster. Yeah. So broadcaster understands. Okay, so there was a thing though. Hang on. Huh? Okay, let me organize my thoughts so I can explain it a bit better. Better, faster, stronger. No, I don't remember how it goes again. In any case, the broadcaster, it's not really something that contains these things, right? It's just a pipeline that this thing goes through, but we can imagine it being a pipeline somehow, right? And then what happens is this policy here is not actually going to decide on the event store events. What did I call them again? Broadcast. So they are okay, hang on. So these, hang on, then this is correct. These are broadcast events, but then that's not called the event stream. Eh? These are so let's do that. I will try. Jesus, how do I? So these are really the domain events, but they're also at the same time broadcast events, and these events, they go via the broadcaster. Okay, I'm going to do it like this because this is ridiculous. Voila. Goodbye. And I will also add it here. Voila. Yeah, maybe it does make sense that these events go through the broadcaster just like this. But then there's the policy. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that domain events and broadcast events are not the same thing. I mean, I don't make the distinction, so maybe what I want to do is like make the distinction that these are, how do you call that? Event-sourced events, for lack of a better term. Yo, help. Help, yo. So we've got the broadcaster. Yeah, and then we've got a policy. This policy norms the broadcaster events, which are really the same. And then what it does is, yeah, maybe that's what's wrong then with the explanation. There was a thing where it's important that these broadcast events happen in a specific order. Because what you can then do is basically say you can replace state from a certain point in time namely the state that this leaderboard was last updated on or whatever, and then just start consuming the broadcast event stream again from that point on, and then replay stuff that comes after it. So you're basically already implementing snapshotting for this leaderboard thing. Now we already have timestamps on the events that we're storing, but so what we don't have, maybe this should be like a more concrete. So that determined which broadcast events are interesting. So this, I think we do decide in the policy, but we are reading those from the domain events, not from this event stream. So maybe what I need is just a mechanism that just saves all of the domain events. Ah, yeah, okay, I understand again why it's important that we just save all of the domain events. And that's because I don't know yet what a future scoring algorithm or leaderboard is going to be interested in. So what I am going to try to do is just translate all of the domain events into broadcast events and just save all of them. That's it. Okay, so then my implementation is incorrect. Nice. But I already learned that I can use the Spring Application Event Publisher to communicate which events happened. So really what I need to do is implement this arrow basically. So it's not just that these arrows just exist like this. There needs to be something in place that does that. Where do I put that? You could reason, well, since it's the leaderboard bounded context that is going to be interested in those broadcasted events, and that it's the leaderboard context that requires them to be in a specific order and timestamped, etc. That it's the leaderboard context that also should do the mapping to events. Okay, so I think I still want this like that, but then I need to make sure that something is in between here, and I don't really know how am I going to call that. Let's first of all move this down just a teeny tiny bit. Okay. Okay, that should be enough. And now I need to put something here in a box. More boxes. Broadcast. So it's leaderboard event broadcasts listener? I don't know, man. And now maybe what I want to do is like make the arrows go to this thing and then go out or something. I don't really know. Make it more small. Voila, something like that. I might also make this a bit smaller. Shit. Yeah, you know what? Let's bring it to the front and then make it opaque. Gray here. There we go. And then this is not like the event stream, but maybe, yeah, maybe it should be the event stream. But really it's the leaderboards event stream. Yeah? No? Okay, and now let's make it aligned a bit so that it's a bit more clear that those things are... Your dog, I heard you like tapping, so... Okay, maybe this is a bit more concrete than... What do you folks think? Is this gonna work? I think it might work. So let's refactor to this. That means this is fine because that's just the way we're going to send domain events across the mounted contexts. But then some cleanup. Let's just get rid of all the things. So I know for a fact that I need to be in the leaderboards context, the mounted context. So that's over here. For now, we've got most challenges leaderboard, which is a policy at the moment that is going to, that knows how to store leaderboard events. But really what I want to do here is, okay, these are going to be renamed because these are broadcast events. Do I want to? No, I don't want to rename that to for broadcast. That makes no sense. I could keep it the same name, but it might be a bit confusing after a while. I will rename it later when it's more clear, maybe. Okay, then these are no longer... yeah, I guess these are leaderboard events, but really I'm calling them broadcast events, so why not broadcast events? Keep them. These should be renamed to broadcast events. Then I can also rename this. Now it's starting to make sense. Haha. Sweet. And then, yeah, obviously the class needs to change. And because really it's not just leaderboards implementation, but let's call it domain event to... No, wait, I named it. I already named it. Leaderboard event broadcast listener. What? That's a bad name. Ugh. Domain event to broadcast event mapper. There we go. If you're unsure, just put mapper after it. Just put mapper in the name. It's fine. To broadcast event mapper. There we go. Maybe I can put this in a separate function called map to broadcast event. Haha. Nice. And then store it. Nice, looks great. Which is a place where we keep the broadcast events. Seems legit. This thing can go. You see, while I was coding before, I made a mistake of making too many assumptions of where this stuff should go. And now this is no longer a most challenges broadcast store, but really this is a broadcast events store. Which are going to be all of the events that that I'm going to be interested in. I think, my leaderboard. This is looking quite good indeed. Yes. Let's see if everything still works by doing a clean build. Do I just want to maybe just do a build, regular build? Let's in the meanwhile go over all of our changes. Okay, so renamed to broadcast events, renamed the challenges leaderboard store to broadcast events store, which now says broadcast events. Then we've got some imports that were cleaned up. Maybe I don't want to commit that, or commit it separately. Got rid of something I didn't use, renamed the file, renamed the thing to represent what it's actually doing, which is mapping broadcast event, no, domain events to broadcast events. And then this thing here, this is no longer the most challenges leaderboard API. This is really the broadcast events API. Okay, you know what I am thinking? Ah, nee. Damn it. I was thinking, well, if it's really that generic, then why am I keeping an event sourcing adapter like a special thing? Because it's I mean, we do have some infrastructure logic there, I guess. To just this thing understands how to save stuff to an event store, and the implementation here is very concrete. It's a Postgres event store. Okay. Maybe I'm going to rename. Do I rename it or not? Yeah, let's keep it under leaderboards. It makes a bit more sense than. Not pleased with it at all, actually, but it's fine. Yeah, so last thing I should do is rename this, probably. In the meanwhile, the build has been successful. It's really just the file I need to change, I think. Yeah. This is what is this thing? I guess it's the broadcast events API. specific to the leaderboard context, but it's there that we are understanding that these are broadcast events. I need to check with somebody to tell me that this is still correct. Now this is a bit weird because it's got the name Leaderboard Event ID, but I can just rename it. Yeah, looks good. Let's commit this. Basically, this is a rename, so it's a refactor. And there was something I didn't want to include, which is the CQRS part. And I renamed stuff to better represent the mapping of domain events to broadcast events. There we go. And then we'll also commit this one, which is a fire emoji, optimize imports. Okay, let's push that. And then now we need to implement this thing here to represent our leaderboard. Because the thing I'm at now is this part is done. So in the vertical sense, we are this up till here. This is where we're at. So all of this is yet to be implemented, and then we've got a full walking skeleton. Oh my god, nearly done. I've got an hour and a half left to do that. Okay. So still thinking that maybe I want to put this in like a infrastructure thing or something. Maybe. I'm not really sure. Let's put that in an infrastructure thing actually. Impl.infra up. We need more garbage cans. No. Allee jong, zeg. Infra. This song is so bad, jong. Fucking hell. Okay. This is also a refactor, but it's a move really, so we've got the truck for that. Move to more specific infra package. And now we've got room to put this policy. So what I'll do is I'll say, I had the example of most challenges done policy. Voila. This is going to nom very specific things, so it has developed a taste for specific domain or broadcast events. This belongs to not just any leaderboard, but a most challenges done leaderboard. Now this is quite ugly. Why did I put that here? I mean, Zeg. Line tab. Project. Okay. I think this is good. This is Gucci. Is that Gucci though? I'm not sure if it belongs here or on this thing. I also forget why this update thing is there. Ah yeah, because I wanted to implement a replay. Okay, so let's try and make this thing first or something. Let's first make this policy in the domain, in the leaderboard domain here. Allee, IntelliJ, please. What's it doing now? I just alt-tabbed. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think I want a refresh. Let's see. We'll just create a new thing here. Of course, a Kotlin class. Most challenges done policy. You put it there. That's fine. I don't care because I'm gonna move it anyway to straight underneath impl. Is this weird? Yes, it is. Let's move it again to most challenges. I don't know. I'm really bad at naming stuff, like 80% of the developers out there. This I don't think I need. But what this does have, damn it. Okay, I was thinking not out loud. That's my bad, sorry. So I was thinking this policy needs some way to, well, it needs an event store really, yeah? But the event store lives here. So what that means is I need, yeah, maybe I should just get this one then. The broadcast events interface, because private val broadcast events. Oi. This one. Then we'll add a component to that. And then what I want is I want to check what do I want to do with this one? So something needs to trigger this as well. But what? Like some scheduling mechanism or whatever? What triggers it in the drawing? Nothing. Yeah, let's put a timer with this thing here. Where's the icon finder? Let's do clock maybe? Or timer? Or the same, I guess. Sure. It's annoying that you can't really find the icons that are consistent with each other, because now I've got like this fat thing there. This looks like that one, but then my broadcaster looks a bit different. Oh, maybe they're quite okay. Lucky me. Let's make it a bit smaller. Smaller, yeah. Smaller. Maybe even. Can I do that? No, shit. I wanted to say like every, I don't know, man, 5 minutes. Every minute. Bangers. Let's do Arial. Let's make it small. And then let's group it. Voila. Every minute this gets triggered. Voila. Now I need a scheduling thing. Oh man. This has turned out to be somewhat annoying. But I think you can do that using something like this, like oh. Yeah, so maybe it's okay if I have the Spring annotations here. I mean, I'm already doing this is exactly the reason why I didn't want to add Spring to my domain, in fact, because now like infrastructure is being coupled to my domain, and it's something I wanted to avoid, but you know what? After a Carmelite, none of that stuff matters all that much, you know. Oh boy, I don't know. Cron. Fixed delay? What the hell is this thing? Do I really want to do this stuff? Cron. IntelliJ, help me. I trust you. Oh, you bastard. I know it's something like year, month of year, day of month, hour, and then minutes or something like that. That should be okay, right? No documentation. All right. Okay, what do we want to do? We want to... Oh, holy crap. Johan, you scared me. But thank you for following. Anyway, I want to schedule some fun every 5 minutes. Kill me now. No, really, what I want to do is I want to nom, because that's honestly domain language. I want to nom stuff, and this is going to recreate a most challenges done leaderboard, I think. Is that correct? Maybe the policy is just responsible for nomming broadcast events. So let's do that. And now I need... Now I need something like this as well, huh? Filter or find or... Yeah, no, I want to first get them all the ones that I'm interested in from a certain point in time. How the hell is that gonna work? Ugh, then this needs state or something. Private val. I don't really know when it's going to be created, in fact. So maybe we'll do, oh no, I dislike this. Last time noned, last time we ate, which is a local date time. And I guess on init or something? I don't really know. Like the first time we do this, maybe we can make it into an optional. What? Oh, I didn't know that. Why is that? Well, in that case, we'll just make it a var. Because initially it's null. But really that's incorrect. We always want it to be something. No, I can't do that. Because I can't I can't assume that last time we ate is going to be filled in the moment that I'm going to num. So really what happens here is if last time we ate is null, then we need to set it to now. Equals local datetime now. And then we need to find all of the broadcast events. Find all, and then I'm imagining that I'm adding a list of broadcast events that I'm interested in or something. We can just not do that. I don't really know how I'm going to do that, in fact. Maybe, yeah, hang on. What we can do is find all since. In the other thing I'm wondering now is like, why am I dealing with this difficulty now? Why should I do it? If I just fetch them all, then I don't need this last time we ate thing at all. So maybe this is okay. Kind of sad that we're going to abandon this because I liked the last time we ate metaphor. Last time since, yeah, now. And then these will be all of the events, basically all events. They're indeed going to be broadcast events, but then a list of those. And then what I want to do is populate my most challenges done leaderboard with it, and then make it project. So we'll do most challenges done leaderboard. Yeah, this is annoying. I guess I can do this. Another way I could do it is make it more explicit, because, and if I do it like that, then it will reside in the constructor, but I could also say replay based on events. Or no, this is called differently. It's called hydrate, I think, or rehydrate. Fuck. Rehydrate. And that's going to return a most challenges leaderboard. Once that is done, then I can say leaderboard.project and then save it or something. So saving it would mean, yeah, and now I've got different options. Now I can have, if I wanted to save the state of a leaderboard using event sourcing, what I would then do is, yeah, but that makes no sense after projection. So, because I always repopulate like this. So projecting would mean having like a leaderboards thing, which is really just a stupid, I forgot, a normalized database table with a ranking. That's it. That's honestly it. So once this is done, then I want to say dot save. What I don't yet have is leaderboard projection, which is a leaderboard projection. Actually, it's not it's a more specific. It's a most challenges done leaderboard projection. I want to leaderboard projection dot save. I don't like this. Maybe we can just have project be the save, so to speak, and in that case my project is going to be an extension function on most challenges leaderboard, where we've got a project function which is not going to return anything, but which is going to go to leaderboards and then say save this. No? Maybe what I first need to do is this dot to queryable leaderboard or something. Oh man, having a hard time typing. Or as. Yeah, this makes more sense. And then I guess that will be yet another extension function, which is going to return this thing, which we will save. To do okay. I don't really know why. Oh, but I wrote down to do to implement. Something like that. Nee? And then we've got an implementation in the adapter and the RDBMS adapter that knows how to, what's it called again? Save it. Yeah, save this thing. Seems legit. Okay, does it seem legit though? Because I think in my drawing, it's like it belongs to this, and now I'm not really... I mean, this is the thing that controls stuff, not this leaderboard. It's really like an in-between thing, but it does have the project logic, and it might in the end also have update logic, which I guess is, yeah, I think it makes sense in fact. It's not that it says belongs to, that this kind of leaderboard has a policy, right? Can be the other way around. Now the thing that I'm seeing is that this is going to be quite generic, because every single leaderboard that we're going to make okay, hang on. Okay, now I remember why this thing is important. It's because in the rehydrate step, this is where the scoring algorithm actually is applied to the events. So first you rehydrate, then you make sense of those events within the context of this leaderboard. So this thing has a what's it called? It has a scoring algorithm. So then that means that the leaderboard understands how to project, basically. And then, yeah, project can... No, I need something to say that apply the scoring. So I need to have like this project function on... or I guess it's this thing then or something. No. Damn. How do I make that apparent? Wait, I am in the impl here. I'm such an idiot. Jesus Christ. So really, let's... let's make the projection something different. So, I mean, not something different. So, what I'll want to do is if you rehydrate, it will fill the leaderboard with state. Yeah, I guess that makes sort of sense. Applies the most challenges done leaderboard with... no, wait. Applies the... yeah, this scoring algorithm in order to replay state. I don't know. How do you say that? To recover this kind of leaderboards state. Haha. Which we can then project. Some format to there we go. So this here is not a queryable most challenge done leaderboard, but it's a projection. I should have done that. Voila. So project should make the projection. So let's call this project, and this we will call save or something. And then save understands to project. So really what I'm going to do here is project save. There we go. And then I can save. There we go. There we go. This wasn't so hard. Okay, I think I've written down how I would like to have it work, basically. I don't really understand why I'm doing this. Maybe it's already like a way to say I want all of them. Well, since now that's always going to be the case, so let's just get rid of that. Find all, nice. And then I guess if I want to optimize it, I want to keep this leaderboard as a state of this most challenges done policy probably. And then only rehydrate from a certain amount. Or I could... yeah, and this is why you would event source it maybe. Then you first get the snapshot of that leaderboard around that time. Oh my god. And then you replay the rest of the events on it to keep the state up to date. Okay, but first, very important, I've got an hour left. That means time for another beer. I will be right back. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. Otherwise, I will see you very soon. Right, I'm already back. Dear lords, that was fast. But I've gotten a new beer. Well, another one. It's called Sint Bernardus 12, which is almost indistinguishable from West Vleteren, I've been told. I've never drank West Vleteren before. I know it's a shame, I'm a Belgian. I should die in shame forever. But yeah. Cheers. Not bad at all. Yeah, this is it, eh? Now someone can just implement this for me, thank you. The one thing I was thinking about though is that eventually I want to also verify that this thing works. And what I can do here is I can check that the event has player registered. But really what I also want to do is verify that there is now a leaderboard containing scalp at 0 points. So maybe I need to... yeah, I'm just not sure how I am going to check that. So maybe something like verify leaderboard. Oh man. That is going to... oh, that's too bad. Hang on, huh? Let's get rid of that. Oh, damn it. Okay, we've got a leaderboard. And here we can check So something that it looks like a table is what I'm trying to do now. So verify leaderboard. Whoa. Damn it. One. And then I guess I'll need place 1. Can you do that? I wonder. So place 1 with for scallop with 0 points. And that's it basically. And then maybe what I can do here is say I want a specific type of leaderboard to verify. So we've got, even if we've got multiple ones, most challenges done leaderboard or something. I don't know. We could also do it like this, maybe. But maybe before we write it like that, we can just do it a bit easier and then refactor it into this this style. And then I guess this is going to need like a data source or something. I don't know yet. That's for after. Okay, let's try to make this work. Can I in fact unit test any of this? I guess if I mock the leaderboards thing, then I can verify that eventually there's a most challenges done leaderboard projection that was saved based on all of the events. So I'll need to set up this somehow. And how do I set up those? I know this already has like a keep thing, so I can set some stuff up for that. So in reality, these broadcast events are, how do you say that? They're being fired by aggregates in the management domain. But for this test, I want to set them up myself. But maybe I can add something in this domain that sets up players, etc. that fires those events. But really it's the commands, huh? So it should be here somewhere. I don't really want to fire commands though, do I? Do I want to do that? I mean, it's going to be a bit too broad of a test. We can expand it maybe as we go. Let's try to do that first. Okay, let's go right at unit test. So the thing I've done here is a bit, that's not where I want that to be. So let's first create a test directory. Fucking hell, mate. It's not here, it's supposed to be here. Yeah, test Kotlin noise. Then I can create a unit test for most challenges done policy. Please, sir. Okay. Yeah, yeah. This is something I want. Yeah, nice. Adu. Okay. Let's try and test that. So basically, whenever this trigger happens, I don't care about it, but maybe when broadcast events are digested, then a most challenges done leaderboard is new. Oleo. Then a new most projection is saved. Hierse. That's something I want to test. I don't need assertions yet. Yeah, I was saying normally what I would do is I would start with my unit test, but I was just thinking out loud anyway, and I wanted to explain it somehow to you. So I just started writing stuff down, and it's not compiling, so I guess that's fine. So I shouldn't be sad when I'm eventually not adhering to this contract, because now my test is going to drive all of the things. So what we'll need is this policy. It needs something. Oh yeah, it needs broadcast events. Broadcast events is a what? Is that an interface? Yeah, this an interface. That's cool. That means I can just implement this thing by, instead of going to like an actual events store, what the f***ing, ah yeah, so instead of doing this, oh, so this is actually really cool. I might get the incorrect results though. So instead of this being backed by an actual event store, I can just you dog. No, I don't have that. Damn it. I was gonna say I have like an in-memory event store implementation. It's really, honestly, it looks so much like this. So I'm just going to copy paste this stuff. Where is the test? Over, yeah. Oi. Where did you fucker? God damn it. By the way, excuse my language. I'm usually not this. Who am I kidding? I am actually just exactly like that. Add. And then this is gonna remain. Yeah, nice. I don't know why IntelliJ does that, honestly. But it's fine, I can deal with it. So, okay. We've got this thing here. I want an implementation for these broadcast events, but like in-memory broadcast events. And maybe what I'll do is I will create these in my setup somehow. Okay, so let's make that into a late init field. You fuck. Why not? Allee, why not? Late init var broadcast events. They are broadcast events, but really what they are And setup function, as I want to say broadcast events, they are now in memory. Broadcast events. These things don't exist just yet. That's because I still need to create them. Where am I going to create them? These live in API infrastructure, so I am going to add them. I guess I only need them in these tests anyway, so maybe it makes more sense to put them here. Source test Kotlin. Let's find out if I can do that. Yeah, first package, scrambled domain leaderboards API infra. Then we'll create a Kotlin class file called in memory. Dang it. Oh no. Again, class in base in memory broadcast events. Yes. Then I want to paste this bullshit, but really it's something like this. That's fine. And then I need to say that it is a broadcast events thing. And I also want to say that it's in fact a list of broadcast event types by underscore events, comma. These are not just any type of event, these are broadcast events. Okay. And that's basically it, I think. Now I want to implement keep, and keep should do events.add event. Haha! Nice. Hela. Get rid of this crap because we don't need it. We don't need flow. I mean, we don't need flow. The type, we do need flow. Always. Great. Honestly, it's just great. Now we've got in-memory broadcast events, basically backed by a list, which also retains order, which is cool. Then I just want to initialize this. I don't have a dependency yet. Let's see what happens if I do that. I expect in my leaderboards build Gradle to have changed. It did not. I'm very curious what did change then. Oh, nothing. Okay, that's cool. That's also cool. Yeah, so I want not for implementation, but then for test implementation. This should be okay, yeah? No? Project. That should be good. Now I'm going to take in this. So in fact, it's not that great because usually in the test, I think it's called configuration, you keep your actual tests and not classes you want to share for the purpose of testing. So yeah, it's fine. People always keep complaining that Gradle is slow or something, but what people forget is that it allows you to drink a beer while loading. Haha. Okay, so that did not seem to work. I don't know why that's not working though. Why is that not working? Might have something to do with this. You need to expose. I forget if we do that in our Kotlin. There's a build source. Here we go. We've got Gradle plugins that say you need for test implementation these things, but there's no setup here to create. Huh. Don't care. So maybe it's in the Spring Conventions thing? Nope. So I thought that I need to add a specific configuration for this project to be able to share my tests here. So I sort of expected that if you ask for a test implementation of Leaderboard's API, that Leaderboard's API would then that you would then automatically get this, but apparently that's not the case. So maybe instead of just having project, there we go, configuration. So let's say it's the test configuration. I think that might do the trick. By the way, if any of you folks know the answer, don't hesitate to put it in chat. Just giving some suggestions. Might help me, might not. We still have 50 minutes, 50. Come on, babe. Oh man. It says something like .test though. That's the stuff I don't really understand yet. Can you just do this? Does that work? I don't think you can do that. So we've done this one, project dependency. But maybe we can do .test on this thing as a to just get a test configuration. No, it doesn't seem like it. Rayon. What's this? Add dependency on module. Yes, I want to do it. Did something change? No, why not? Ecosia to the rescue. Gradle add test deep. No, yeah, add test dependency. Shared test dependency. Maybe that's the thing I can quote unquote Google on. Declaring dependencies? No. You can see that it's been a long time since I've tested runtime configuration. There's also like the Java plugin in between there that I don't really. JVM builds. Maybe it's this thing. Using test, that's also not something I wanted to do. I guess it's this thing here. Okay. Yeah, so I need to access the configuration of my oh god, I really don't like doing this stuff. Grr, 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 grr. So we need a dependency. It's a project dependency, in fact, project dependency on test configuration. Maybe that will work. Maybe this thing will help. Paldo never really disappoints. Yes, this is what I need. How old is this thing? 2017. For Gradle and above, use this answer. Ah, see, this is the thing I wanted to know. Here they do declare those sets themselves. So now modules with Java or Java library plugins can also include a Java test. Ah, this is the test fixtures thing. Helper classes and resources to be consumed with test fixtures helper. So how does that work? We've got module 1. Plugins, Java library or Java as a plugin then. And then you also need a Java test fixtures thing. So I'm not really sure where I'm using these because I'm building Kotlin, but those things are on the JVM. Oh no. So the thing I also don't like is that I'm now in a setup where I'm in a non-compiling thing. Okay, maybe, but you know what I'll do is I will copy this URL. Then what I shall do is put it here. Move in memory broadcast events to proper test fixtures config of leaderboards.api. C blah. There we go. And then this thing we're going to copy over to, where am I going to put that? I guess here. Maybe if I just do test fixtures or something, it will already work. Test fixtures. So test fixtures of project. I doubt that this already exists. Because I don't have the plugin applied, so it should fail now, huh? Oh yeah, and then maybe... Okay, so now I just cancelled all the things. I'm going to just straight up move this over here. Because reasons. I guess I could just keep it here as well to make it really confusing. I guess it's just a bad idea, huh? Come on, yeah. Okay. That's that. Then we have this. Good. Now we've got in-memory broadcast events. Setup. We've got a to-do here with that stuff, so we can actually move it somewhere at some point in time. Then we've got one dependency. Then we need leaderboards. Leaderboards does not exist yet, but this is a thing that we're going to use to save it, right? So maybe what we should do first is not use that, but go here and then I guess implement, or no, put an API here. We've got infra, but in most challenges done. Class leaderboards, which is an interface, and then we'll move this to infra.most. Actually, infra is fine, especially if I'm going to call it just leaderboards. And there we go. And then this will be used to save most challenges done. Leaderboard projection. Good enough, yeah. Excuse me. What is the problem? Oh yeah, makes sense. That doesn't exist just yet. But I don't care about that yet. We'll do another late init var for leaderboards, which is a leaderboards implementation, and then we'll just say leaderboards. Maybe we can mock this, in fact. Or just yeah, I think mocking is going to be good enough, I guess. I just want to verify that it's been called with this thing. The most challenges done leaderboard projection. Yeah, let's just first of all mock it and then we'll see later. The other thing I could do, of course, is just also keep it as an in-memory thing where it's backed. But it's too much of an implementation thing. Okay, let's extend with Mockito extension fee. It needs a class. I don't know actually. Yeah, a class. Nee. Required K class, okay. Well, why doesn't class work then? Yeah. Okay, that's annoying. Maybe it's just because it's needs this thing. Yeah. My bad. Okay, then we can mock leaderboards. This is fine. Then we can set up our most challenges blah with a leaderboards thing. There we go. Now we've got a policy. Then we can just call none. This doesn't return anything. Then a new most challenges done leaderboard projection is saved. And then before we do this, I want to... Yeah, I think what I want to do is make this into a field. Oh, jeez. Sure. Do I want to do this? No. I just wanted a stupid field. This I'm going to put here. This I will put here. Nice. This will just call policy and then we're Gucci, right? Yeah. Can go. Then we can none. And before we want to do that, we want to set up our broadcast events so that, yeah, I want to say player registered broadcast event. So this one. Ho. Let's just do a random one. Random. Scallop. Yeah, that this one is kept. Keep. Noise. Then when we num stuff, I want there to be... I want to verify from Mockito, please. Mockito. This one. That leaderboards was called with save, and then now I'm in trouble, I guess, because really what I want to verify is that there's a leaderboard projection that was saved, which I haven't really created yet. So that's this thing. Where do I put that? It's also an API, but let's first move this to something more concrete. Sure, editing was nice. Make a Kotlin class called this. Oh, damn, I should have. Man. We'll move this to most challenges done. Pro. I mean, there's going to be a single projection, huh? Jesus. And then maybe I want to move this or keep it there. I can't decide. Let's move it up. Get rid of that one because there's nothing in it anymore. Here's the projection I wanted. This is a data class. Duh. It's your problem. Oh, okay then. What are we gonna keep? We will keep a rank, which is a type alias for integer or something. There we go. You can do this. Then after rank, we'll have, I need to go back to the scenario thing I wrote. Here, place, well, we've called it place, but maybe rank. So rank, name and then, or nickname and then the score. Makes sense. Rank. Of course, this makes no sense because a projection for leaderboard is everything. So this should be, how do you call that? A record? I don't like record. Place in the leaderboard, maybe? And a place has a score? A player? We could call it a player. A player has a rank and a score? Thoughts? Concerns? Yeah, I'm gonna call it that, yeah. It's nice. Okay, so we'll keep that. So we've got our rank and nickname, which is a string for now. And then a score. So val, score. And the score is yet another integer. There we go. And now I want this to be players. So really, val players, which are a list of projected players. And then projected players are data classes that have these things. Yeah? No? Sure. And then what we need, a leaderboard's save function, which saves what? Something that, so now it's no longer just leaderboards. But really it's Is it though? Why is this so hard? Most challenges done leaderboard repository. There we go. Just rename this shit. Sure, let's call it this. What this thing does is it's going to save this projection to save. This thing belongs here, so maybe, okay, now it makes sense that this should in fact move over here. So that's exactly what I shall do. Move it to file, to the, oh boy, not infra, but most, oh no, no type, no completion. Ah, we can choose. I'm dumb. Project this thing, yeah. Hup. Ha. It's good, huh? I mean, it's okay, huh? Okay, now, now, what's going on here? I want to verify that it's exactly that specific leaderboard projection that is going to be saved. What do I want this thing to look like? Expected projection. Create. Should be most challenges done leaderboard projection, which has a list of players, so list of a single projected player having rank 1, or maybe last. Yeah, new players shall be last. Nickname Scallop. Score 0. Well, 0 as a rank comes before 1, so that's annoying. Maybe we can just say it hasn't, they have no rank. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. So rank null. Let's do it like this then. And then I can skip that one. No, of course not. I can say nickname equals and then score equals. There we go. That's it. Now make it compile so I can actually run it. Don't need to care about that. Then this I do need to care about. Should return a list of broadcast events. That's fine for now. That's the projection I wanted. Leader sports are now called this. Yeah, this is quite annoying, huh? Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, then this thing needs to start existing. We will put it in the same file? We can put it in the same file. class up. That's good enough, I guess. This will have a companion object. Yeah, sure. It has a function called rehydrate, which will take in a list of broadcast events, and which will return a most challenges done leaderboard. And this is to do. Implement me. Okay, everything seems to be compiling. I guess this is fine. We can do that later. Kind of want to return something though. Maybe we can just do this. Empty list. There we go. Rehydrate, return an empty leaderboard. There we go. I want to make this the default constructor private though, so it can only be called by this one. If I didn't put this here, I would be able to create a most challenges done leaderboard using this, and I don't want to do that, so I want to say your constructor is private, good sir, and then it's not compiling. Okay, so that means you have to rehydrate your leaderboard. I want to think about that later. That's fine. But at least I think my policy should start, or the test at least, should start working now. I mean, it should be runnable, I hope, and should fail for the right reason. Namely, your verify was called, but it was called with an empty most challenges done. Okay, some stuff is not working. Why is that? Is not abstract. You what, mate? Does not. Ah, okay, my bad. That's correct. Find all, return events. Easy. There we go. Let's rerun the test. Have another sip, sippy sip. Hey, it is working. So this means that nom successfully worked, but that the verify failed because the verify is now failing because it's saving a most challenges done projection with an empty list of players, and I expected this one. Okay, now we are onto something again, so we can start implementing. Okay, so the easiest thing that could possibly work would be, I think I've already set it up a bit. Wait, do I want to? So that's what rehydrate does, in fact. So what I want to do is inline this, and then do project, and then do save. And this, I think I'll just move to a Java doc on this thing. Oh, I forgot how to write. Is it like this? Let's see. Yeah, hello. Okay, okay, Hido. Where am I at? So I guess if I have this project thing, what I can then do is I think I sort of need these let's try to filter instance. Nee, isn't that a thing? Ah, there we go. Filter is instance of broadcast event, I think, or is it here? Okay, I guess it's the other one. Yeah. Player registered for leaderboard. I'm interested in these events. And when I have these, I want to say these are all of my players, really. So what can I do here? I guess I want to keep all of these players. So I want to map these. Map. I'm not sure if I care about the ID that they have. Maybe just the nicknames. I guess the IDs is what make them unique. Yeah, so I guess. Ugh. But I guess, I mean, it doesn't even matter if they're called the same and they have a different ID, then that's fine. Maybe the projection doesn't need it anyway. Maybe eventually they will need like the epic ID or something like that, then my leaderboard will need it as well. Because I want to, if you hover over their name, then, or their nickname, then I want to show the epic ID or something like that. I'm not really sure if I need that. But in any case, you want nicknames, you want players like this. So what do I want to make? Maybe they can just be strings, huh? These are players. Player names. Good enough. And then I guess what I want to do is merge them. Okay, so now I'm going to need IDs for this, because I think what I want to do is go over these events again, then find all of the player matches or whatever, and then map those matches to the players that actually registered. And for every player, maybe what I can do then is filter, but I don't have that thing. Okay, maybe what I don't really know how to do this. Damn, it's not as easy as I thought. Anyway, so let's just consider that all of the players are haven't played any matches, which is correct. then I can... Damn, this is so difficult. Why is this so difficult? I guess this rehydrate thing is going to be very exhaustive because it will have... Maybe I do need my events anyway in my leaderboard here. And in that case, why do I need a different constructor? I can refactor it later. Okay. I guess maybe just for the purpose of this, it makes sense. Okay. Okay, I will pass down the events just like this. Add a parameter. Okay. Then I will create a private val. Allee. Players. Sorry. Players. Which are a list of strings. There we go. And we've got a get for that. And it just filters the events. Private val. Voila. So these are all the players of or within this leaderboard. What I can then do is use them to make a projection. Where is that part? And the this is a policy somewhere. Project. Yeah. I can use these players to make a projection out of that. Nice. So let's do players. Map these to a projected player with nickname it and score 0. Son of a bee. Oh, it's private. I wonder why I did that, or like added it as an extension function. That makes no sense to me. Because there we go. This makes more sense, huh? Now let's rerun it. Now we're not really applying a scoring algorithm yet. But we do have a green test. So that's cool. The other thing that I'm a bit worried about is that yeah, how should I say this? I don't want the scoring algorithm to only be applied in the project thing for some reason. I can't explain it. I can't explain why, but it seems like it's a bad idea. It seems like what I want to do is build up my internal ranking somehow, because even though this seems really, really simple, as you can read it, it's kind of important that it's this exact event that this leaderboard is interested in. So my initial idea earlier in the evening was to sort of make sure that you can see in one glance what broadcast events a specific leaderboard is interested in. So a challenges done leaderboard would have a scoring algorithm. Val scoring or private val scoring algorithm, which is something that takes in yeah, I guess a list of events and outputs a score. So maybe this, but then also a list of events that belong to a specific player, and I don't know how to do that. And I guess score can belong to the API. So this can be something to always return 0. Oh yeah, what's your problem? Yeah, really, it's something that returns 0. Why is this not working? There we go. Always return 0. And what you should then do is apply this scoring algorithm to every player. But that means that every broadcast event needs to be tied to a player. And that's a bit more difficult to just think about right away. Plus also this stuff I want to unit test on the most challenges done leaderboard itself. But that's like a refactoring step. I don't have this thing yet. I do have a green test, however. What do you guys think about that? Which means actually I can start my scenario test. What time is it? 5 minutes. I have to stop. Dang it! Dang it. I mean, we did make a bunch of progress. Hot diggity damn. Okay, yeah. This is cool beans, because we don't have an implementation for this yet. So that means next time we can write it and then at the same time implement or verify that it works using our scenario test. That will be for next time, which should be next Tuesday. So because I'm going to try and stream every Tuesday. That should be my schedule update, I guess. Yeah, why not? Let's try to do that every week. Cool. Let's commit and push this. So what is this? This is a new feature, I guess you could call it. Meaning a policy can digest broadcast events into a leaderboard projection, which is not yet saved. That's what we did in this commit. And then next time, I guess I'll need to read up on how to use test fixtures. We did add this one. Yeah, makes sense. Ui! Huh? Oh, we've got 2 in-memory broadcast events. Is that a thing? Yeah, okay, I need to get rid of this one, I think. Duh. Goodbye. Jongen. Malewa. That was so weird. So trying to, if you press backspace on a module, it tries to just not register the module anymore, but not actually delete the files. Okay. Good thing I checked all of these things. Okay, let's just try to do it like that. That's just a comment so that I need to use test fixtures. The policy. I don't know if the cron thing works. I don't know how to do that, in fact. In memory broadcast events. That's like a for tests thing. Then we've got the test for the policy. Then we've got a find all implementation on broadcast events to get them all for now, which is not optimized. Then we've got a representation for the projection of a most challenges done with the repository as well. Then some bullshit comments so I can have something to work towards, I guess. I don't really know why. And that's it. Okay, cool. Let's commit this just as is. Push it. Okie dokie. And then I'm gonna finish my beer and end the evening. Thanks for hanging out as usual. Yeah. I hope it was interesting for you as it was for me. See you next time. So that would be next Tuesday. So see you next Tuesday. Wink. Bye. Bye everybody. Sorry about that one.